So, it's finally here, the demo for Dark Souls 1-2, and personally, I'm pretty excited for what's to come. So the video's split into two parts. The first half is doing the initial, well, one of the initial playthroughs that I've done of the demo, and the second half is me just discussing some of the finer points about what I think about the demo, because is an amazing feat as this is, and it's so exciting for what's to come. There's still a bunch of issues that kind of need to be discussed about it, and hopefully this filters its way back to the developers. In true GheyForGames style, I just can't stop having discourse about Dark Souls stuff. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then please yada yada yada. And also, if you want to see the full uncut streams, you can just donate whatever you want to the Patreon. Helps me out, and it's basically like a Twitch donation in it. And on that note, you should also definitely go and follow us on Twitch, and definitely give me your Prime sub. So yeah, plenty more Dark Souls mod related content coming up on the channel, as well as Elden Ring. So yada 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 yada, let's go on it. I guess some enemies are built for it, some ain't, right? Man, the chat was going good. I hope people will come back in. No, I absolutely did not see someone. A 12-hour fight? Fucking hell. That's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a good point. How the... Yeah, how did he do that? It's like longer than a shift. How did he not, like, die at any point? Like, holy fuck, man, what a trooper. Alright, let's see if the melting the boss thing is going to hold up again. I thought it was out of Estus, out of heal items, which meant I had to clutch the ending during those 2 hours. I somehow managed to pull it all again. First 2 hours of hitless mid-ear. That is a nightmare. Okay, whatever. Okay. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Devil May Cry 3 is really good, I think. I mean, I suppose all ones are good as well, but... Well, he's fucking easy when you do that. Oh, I'm back here again. Oh, I just started again, Gareth. I just want to see if I can get through it a lot faster now. Which, I think I can. Twitch was having your life? What do you mean? We'll try and get a few more dragon scale powder just in the off chance. I wonder if like these guys are even like killable. It's actually alright damage. Oh fuck. Oh, you only give like they're easy. Alright. They certainly give the impression they're gonna be harder than that. Have you played God of War PC? I've not. I've not. So, the bell goes off in this bit, and I'm wondering what is causing that. It must just be like an automatic thing, right? I know that's just a Chaos Fireball, there's no point in getting it. Be stuck here for hours, send help. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We did beat it, right? I ended up beating it off camera, though. So, I kind of want to do it again, so I've just got it. But I want to also just see, like... Can I do it again, effectively? Like, now I know what I'm doing. Because it took me like 2 hours 45 last time to beat the boss, overall. I'm just thinking, can I get it in, like, I don't know, 45? Half an hour? Well, I thought that the stream wasn't going to work again, and then Lucifer was like, oh, by the way, try this. And then it worked, so... I mean, I get it, but... Oh, now you're fresh content. How's that? Oof. Whoa! Oh! Holy shit! Get fucked. So I need to remember to pick up that that armor set and item again, because they melted that fucking boss so hard. Like, that club was really good. Oh, it's another DMC song, okay. I wonder if this one's killable. Should we try killing that thing? Because I realised that there, technically speaking, this is sort of a boss, right? Killed it. Oh, okay. But we killed it. What the fuck? I've never... Can you... Wait a minute. This is not how this should look. Has that always been there? Huh. That's fucking cool. Don't know how they done that, but that was nice. To go where you put your bonfires or something. I thought they'd done something like that. They did not. Still can't find that jumper. Wait, where the fuck am I? Okay, it's quite dark here. I think I need to put the brightness back up. Okay. I mean, I guess it is dark route forestry. Oh wait, the armor set then is down here. It's pretty cool they managed to like splice these bits together like this. It's really cool. I mean, I know there's only 2 areas, right? But I think it would have been worth it for the demo. Still quite a way off in terms of like bonfire placement, but it's faster than running up from the demon ruins, so. Ended up just buying a new pair of Air Forces. I mean, that's a fair choice. Those the Supreme Air Force Ones are so nice. Even I mean, it's just Air Force Ones with like a tiny Supreme logo, but there's something about it, man. My lads, if you looked at Adidas, I have, funnily enough, there's a choice between them or they were a lot more. These were a lot cheaper. I know people probably don't really. No one has liked them, but I really fucking like them. And they were only 40 quid, and I'm like, well, it's like basically a Fila version of that. Like it's like that combined with an Air Max kinda, and yeah, I quite like them. So for 40 quid, I've never had better value in a pair of shoes. Fucking lock on, Jesus. Right, how difficult are you? Oof. Ah, Trixie. Oh, so they just drop it. Epic. But yeah, spent 110 Air Force is a bit taken aback. Taken aback in like what way? Like as in good value or like that's still quite expensive? Because even the Puma ones are only like 90, which I think is pretty decent. Right, so like a big worm shows up again. Oh, that was quite easy. I wonder if they always drop that. Got it perfectly 80, decent. 80 is good. You've had made to measure boots for less than 110. Jeez, how the fuck? Okay, that one's fine. That one's fine. Oh, is it the... Right. Interesting. Because, so that means that the worm that comes up here is the big worm from down there. So if you kill it down there, it doesn't come up here. So that's cool. Well, I mean, right now I'm actually just wearing socks, but... Right, time to go get the Artorias crest again. And this time actually use it. Sanics are like really comfy sandal slip-ons, have a heel that flips up down so you can... Oh, like I said, it's worse than Crocs. Oh, wait, oh. You're saying that, yeah, that's light Crocs. Right, so presumably this won't, yeah. So just wait for this guy to come get me. All the DMC music's pretty good. Right, you, I'm on. Oh, fuck. Anybody here like Static X? Just because the Devil May Cry music kind of reminds me of them. Woof. See the video of the Zoom call where the employee gets up to choose kids out there and then realises he's wearing shorts under his jacket, and then his boss starts laughing and gets up and he's wearing just boxes. Chad maneuver. Alright, so I'm not going to look up what Sanics are, but for my mind, it's like those rubber shoes that have like toes. And like the name sounds like that's what they would be called, so I don't need any more information. Barn kittens, that's fucking adorable. Those cats are living it up in cat terms anyway. Okay, so use one of these. I don't want to overshoot it. In fact, it's fine, it's fine. I'll just use all of them, and then if I overshoot it, I'll just farm a tiny bit. Yeah, like, why you got all the cats and stuff? Do you not think it's kind of weird that, like, technically by owning cats for that purpose, you're, like, kinda, like, by proxy, like, murdering rodent. Like, if you're, say you're vegan, right, and if you own cats and you're doing that, like, by proxy, you're, like, harming animals, right? Okay, I need 100 souls, right, that's fine. I mean, half a dozen's only 6. Maybe 3 dozen cats. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So they're like technically feral, but are they like tame? Or are they just like raging at you like all the time? Like pure hissing and biting. Wow, I was 1 soul away. Fuck me. Right, we've got our 4th dodge finally. Oh, so you can backstab, yeah. Kittens are tame now, parents hiss and run away. That's really cute. Oh man, those videos are like cats that are like old and grumpy or whatever. And then, you know, like, they've just been, like, feral for ages, and then someone's, like, rescued them, and they're just hissing at people for, like, a month. And then eventually they start, like, coming around and then realise, like, oh, you know what, I actually really like getting my head scratched, never want. And then they end up just becoming, like, really nice. I love those stories. Somehow I've, like, gotten incredibly better at this mod. Fucking hell. Yeah, your parents are neighbours and dairy farmers, and there's just cats around. Nobody knows where they came from. There's just cats. There's just about. Can't poison me if I'm already poisoned. Yeah, I did hear about cats and the bird population. You know, there's an interesting thing actually. I heard something about. I mean, I don't know how true this is. It could easily just be made up shit, right? But I remember Trump said something about how windmills are bad for bird populations, and that you know that tracks with something I'd heard before. But people were just like kind of shitting on him saying that. But as far as I'm aware, well, not windmills, like wind generators, like wind turbines. I mean, true or not, I guess they need to exist, like, regardless. And if you're a stupid bird and you die somehow from being hit by a wind turbine, that's on you, bro. Like, get better at evolution, but I thought that was just, like, a weird one. Like, there was another one as well where Trump was talking about how there's, like, too much... Basically just, like, kindling in forest floors that can, like, exacerbate forest fires. Obviously, he said it in some fucking stupid Trump retarded-ass way, right? But technically, again, from what I'm aware, he was right on that. That can't be fucking true, surely. True about the forest man. Yeah, right. And then people are like, what is he talking about? And it's like, oh, it turns out he's actually correct. It's just that he couldn't say it in any kind of comprehensible way, you know? Oof. Oh, those hitboxes, jeez. Oh my fucking god. Oh, bro. Okay, whatever. We'll take that L. It was a mistake to let Trump. We had Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Clinton, Reid. So, I mean, this is as well, like, I find it really strange, like, the amount of, like, same second names that we've had in presidents. It's like why is that? Why do people keep doing that? I don't get it. Like, finally, Jesus Christ. In the US, your state governor has more impact than who the president is. It's probably true, actually, yeah. I mean, things are definitely, like, decentralized a fair bit. But there's certainly a lot of federal things. Like, I think, like, yes and no, because, like, you know, they could just, like, federally make weed legal, and that would have, like, a big impact and stuff. There's certainly plenty of federal laws. One thing I will say is that, like, I think we're caught up too much. I mean, I don't know if the American system can ever be reformed in any meaningful way, and I think that's a shame. But you know, we're caught up too much on, like, the left v right politics. But the problem is that with America, it's just like right versus right versus less right. You know, people aren't truly represented at all by the people they want. There's too much power being the president. I mean, there's just so many issues with the American political system, and I'd absolutely argue that people rabbit on about democracy in America, and it's like, out of all the developed countries, it probably has the least amount of, like, democracy going. Like, it's crazy how little actual power anybody has. But I mean, it's kind of like, it's also like kind of splitting hairs, because, like, really nobody has any power. But I think that there's plenty of other governments that do a hell of a lot better. I reckon that if Elon tried to become president, he could probably succeed, considering that he's like probably like 50 times richer than Trump. And pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's like, there's like some really worrying statistic that's like something like, everybody that's won the presidential race has just been the person that's put more behind their campaign for like 100 years or something like that. Come on, pick it up. There we go. Oh, we need them as well. My uncle was in New York City in the 80s, and when he left the hotel, they called the cops because they assumed he got stabbed within an hour. Jesus Christ, really? Still high in comparison to other places. I don't really think that means it's like... Well, it just means those places are, like, arguably even worse, but I think that for a developed country, America just has, like, some serious fucking problems. The system is, it's like, if you're not born wealthy, there's so many systems in place to just, like, keep you from ever being able to get out the rat race. And it's fucking horrible. Like, it's got the lowest amount of holidays, or at least maybe, like, definitely one of the lowest amount of, like, holidays in a developed country. It's fucked. I would absolutely hate to live in America, honestly. This is something that I find really weird when people say is like, oh, you know, like, that crime and stuff is on the increase, when actually crime has just been, like, steadily decreasing since the 80s. I find it so weird that someone can just, like, straight up fucking lie like that. Like, I just don't know how ill-informed you have to be to think that, like, crime is on the increase or even stayed the same, you know? I think it went up a little bit over the pandemic for, I guess, semi-understandable reasons. Understandable in the sense of, like, you know, the climate's in. Probably there's a lot of crime. A lot of people, you're just like, why would you ever do that? But, you know. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh god. I'm just going to that fucking bonfire. Thank god. Oof. Whew. Got away with that one. Jesus. I know he's gonna love what we're gonna get him if we can get it for like a good price. If you're selling computer chips, hit me up. Dollars, euros, pounds. Alright, check this wee bastard. Oh shit, they dropped Red Blossom. That's fucking sick. Maybe I should up it so the limit's like 20. Maybe 20 is like okay, but I know that Cooter's like Cooter's has been like I can't remember what he said. I think he's gonna be like 120 or something, and then he's had to give it to me in like increments of like 19. Oh, you bastard! You bastard! You Well, you know what? In this case, it's for a good cause, right? Because Steven is going through some shit, and it wouldn't be nice to give him a really nice surprise, because there's no way he's fucking expecting this at all. And it's definitely going above and beyond anything that would ever get anybody else. Basically, I want to get him an i7 9700K processor. You can get him for about 200 second hand. Get like a decent £100 or so motherboard. Maybe there'll be like a bundle deal or whatever, but point is that he needs a new computer. Graphics card, out of the question, let's be honest. Way too expensive, there's no way we could get one. But we can start him off with a new, you know, a new chip, and that'll be sick. Wait, did it read out winky face? Fuck off, it said winky face, quote unquote. Do you really need 2 kidneys? Don't really, but if I was going to sell a kidney, I'd want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth, you know? Like, I'd have to, like, invest the kidney money and let that grow before I want to spend it. Okay, so there is an item here that I've completely missed. Okay, it's that, like, break the game item. Okay. See, you're fucking... There might be a few more items around here. But there's also, like, big stone giants, which I want to stay the fuck away from. Well, like, donate £1 and then put winky face and see. I received kidney. Deal! Alright, well, back to the bonfire, onto the boss. There we go. Old people from the south probably ain't doing too good in that front. I do think that, like, the whole racist South thing probably does come from somewhere. Okay, so what we want to do is... Right, so we've got that big cat. We've got 6 of these. Okay, it is... Okay, I've got quite a lot of... I've not got much Red Blossom. It's probably pretty bad for black people as well. I mean, if that's not the case, it's not the case. Although I will say it's probably easy to find like 2 studies or papers or whatever saying entirely like separate things for something like this, which isn't good. I heard something recently that's like Uncle Jonesy. I wonder if that's but yeah, like something like it's like really worrying. It was like out of like scientific papers, like a large proportion of them like either aren't peer reviewed or they're peer reviewed bad or something like that, where it's just this scientific paper like can't even be trusted, and I had no idea. So it's like if someone's citing a paper at you, you don't even know if its methods are like good, because a lot of people are just like looking at the conclusion and like can't really determine whether like, you know, what it's saying is like actually like, you know, good valuable information that's like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's really worrying. I mean, I guess citing a paper is better than not, but it's kind of fucked that you can't even trust it, you know? Okay, so take 1 and okay, cool. Oh fuck. Right, okay, so take dragon scale powder. Okay, cool, right. Boss time. Oh my god, let me hit you, please. God, this fucker's really spamming that, isn't he? Jesus, okay. Easy peasy with the dragon scale powder. Easy fucking peasy. Whoa, okay. Yeah, that one doesn't feel too bad. Okay, so time for the last boss. Can I do it? Because I used the club last time on like in slow mode and that killed him. Let's be fair, Steven is the best, right? But this whole thing just wouldn't function without me, so it is what it is. We all need to live with it, right? I wish I was Steven as well. What does peer reviewed actually mean? Like multiple professors basically agreeing with. So I'm not like I don't know the exact in and outs if there's like a very very specific meaning, but essentially like other people like. So you release a paper with like, here's like something that I found. People go over it. Do these methods like make sense? Can you actually draw your conclusions for what you're doing? I think maybe people will try and recreate it perhaps. Just basically being like other scientists and people in the field scrutinizing a certain paper. But a lot of papers can just, this is it. And unless something can be like replicated or like confirmed, like no, this is like a good method, then you can't really say for sure that what the paper's claiming can actually holds up, because a lot of times like you'll do an experiment and then you just can't replicate those results again, and if you can't do it then you can't really conclude that, and effectively that's the scientific process, you know, like that's how it works. All right, let's fucking go for it. If it's not repeatable, it's not. Exactly. Right, let's give this a fucking good go. This is exactly it, Freenarn. Exactly. That is a perfect fucking example of like how these things can be super destructive. Oh fuck. Yeah. Got out the rhythm there. Oh. Oh. If you just bleed him, it takes off 30% of his max HP. Or however much. That took me 2 hours. That took me 2 fucking hours the first time. Fucked up. Fucked up. And that is the entire mod. Because now you get the Scroll of Valor, which is essentially like, there you go, you can fuck about, but I'm pretty sure I picked up every item. Let's see what 10k souls can get me up to. Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about when it comes to this mod. I think first things first, obviously this mod is like an incredible feat of like programming and artistic design, and just the fact that, you know, they're taking Dark Souls 1 and they're like trying to improve upon that formula. It's fucking incredible. I can't thank the amount of effort that is went in by the mod creators. I don't know all the names. I know Meow Maritus and Grimrock, and one of the guys from the Demon Souls remake has done a bunch of stuff. Which, I mean, the new armors and weapons and the boss models look fucking amazing. Like they blend in seamlessly into the Dark Souls aesthetic. I think they actually look kind of better. It's like somehow they're better graphics wise than initial Dark Souls 1, but I guess we should just get into the meat and potatoes of the discussion here, because there is like a lot to talk about, and it'd be really interesting to hear what you guys thought of this mod as well, because I just want to see if your experience of this mod lines up with mine. Now, bear in mind, like, I'm not like trying to like smell my own farts here, but like I do have at least an amount of experience in game design because I've done it at uni. Shouts out to that degree, but like, you know, the stuff that I'm saying I think is pretty valid, and I think just in the fact that, like, in terms of how the, you know, video game development process works, which ultimately this is a part of, I think that everybody's experience for the most part is like worth what you should at least listen to what people have to say, and then you can decide if you want to make the changes to your game in order to like kind of reflect upon the wants. And, you know, particularly when you're making a game, your perspective of it is just very different from someone playing a game that you've made, because if you made it, you know it inside and out. And I think that perhaps that is what has happened here. So we're going to kind of like delve into specifically why I think that anyway. So I've got some notes here. Again, this is a pretty much free-form discussion. Hopefully I don't take too long. But the first thing here is not being able to heal in fast mode, despite you taking more damage in fast mode. Despite also, whilst being in fast mode, you're not explicitly better at dodging, which is interesting because I'll get to my experience in a second. The game is clearly like trying to emulate Bloodborne in like a bunch of ways, but it doesn't seem to balance the dodging and the healing in the same way. Personally, like, I get what they're trying to do, and I like it in theory more than Bloodborne, because again, Bloodborne has like the kind of same issues that Demon Souls had, where you have like infinite heals. But I guess you get 20 heals in Bloodborne, but there becomes a problem where somebody, like, the areas are, like, balanced for having 20 heals, I guess, for, like, the average player, but a lot of players won't have 20 heals, which then makes the game, it's kind of skews the difficulty a little bit, but I like how they've went with, like, you have a fixed amount of heals, and I think that is ultimately the best way to handle Dark Souls areas, where you can just balance around, okay, you've got 5 heals, and clearly, like, you can see that balance was pretty much perfect when it comes to Dark Souls 1. I felt like, I thought it was really, really good. But, like I said, it doesn't really balance the dodging and the healing in the same way as Bloodborne does, and that's fine, it doesn't need to do it exactly the same, but I don't think it does it quite as elegantly as Bloodborne seems to do, despite Bloodborne's, the issues I have with Bloodborne. But you don't really get a lot of mileage out of your stamina bar in terms of the amount of dodges. I guess, like, I pumped a lot into stamina, and it meant that I could get, I think I managed to get the 5th dodge in the, like, because you can, like, chain 4 dodges together, or 3 maybe, but I managed to up my stamina so I could get, like, 1 extra dodge, and that did help a lot, admittedly. But when you look at Bloodborne, how many dodges you get out, like, the basic stamina bar, it's, like, way, way more. I think that you start off with, like, default 5 or 6, and I think that they really should have went that way when the game's, like, trying to be as fast as it is. I think that makes a lot of sense, you know. So, like I said, you don't get a lot of mileage out your dodging, and I suppose what the game is trying to do is you might pick and choose your dodges. Now, that is fine. So this might just be me, and I think it is fine that the game is like, you know, you pick and choose your dodges, because admittedly I did end up doing a lot better when I started doing that, rather than kind of dodging like it's Bloodborne. So, you know, that is very much I had to learn that aspect, and that is entirely fine. But I still think that the issue comes down to, right, then this doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, where I found it, and again, if you go on the Patreon and look up the uploaded stream, you'll get to see this, and this isn't me trying to upsell, you don't need to, but when it came to the last boss, I was trying to do most of the DLC in the, I say DLC, so it feels like a DLC, I can't, it just came out, the mod, I done that in fast mode for the most part, and for the last boss in it, I was like, what, like, because I'd tried everything at this point in the fast mode. I went into the normal sword and shield, like, slow mode, and then I done it super easily. Like, it was so much easier in the slow mode, and this got me thinking, like, right, there's clearly, like, a disconnect here on how the game is, because the game seems to present to me as if you are definitely supposed to be playing it in fast mode, and that is, like, you're just going to get annihilated in slow mode. Yet, I kept getting annihilated in fast mode, but when it came to slow mode, I felt like the game was so much easier, aside from a few select instances. Now, the reason for this is quite obvious, right? You can't heal when you're in fast mode, and you take more damage when you're in fast mode. So, to me, this is, like, way too punishing for a thing that seems to be, like, the focus of the mod. So, okay, a few other issues is, like, I felt that when you're dodging in fast mode, it's, like, so fast, and you go further, that you end up, like, dodging in a way that's, like, not actually beneficial to you. Like, when I was doing the last boss, I suppose the fast mode was actually fine for, like, I get that it could be fine for some things and not fine for others. Like, that does make sense, but, again, it just feels like there's a weird imbalance here. It then makes, basically the end result of this is, I'm not really sure what purpose the fast mode is supposed to serve, when it feels like, actually, despite the fact that the game presents it like you're meant to play it in fast mode, playing it in slow mode just felt so much better, and I don't really get it. But it felt like I was cheesing the game sometimes using the fast mode, and then most of the time you're actually meant to play it in slow mode. Like, it's weird. Like, it didn't feel like there was, like, a solid reason for both of them. So basically, taking more damage in fast mode and not being able to heal just felt really, really horrible in actuality. It felt overly punishing, and I really think that there's a number of ways that we could get around this. So perhaps just being able to switch modes faster is, like, the baseline would make it feel a lot better, right? But just having it the same way as is, but just being able to heal. Perhaps the heal could be like a heal over time instead. And again, the game presents you're meant to be in fast mode because it's got a rally system, but the rally system doesn't feel like Bloodborne. You don't get anywhere near as much back. So my baseline, what I think the best solution to this would be, is actually in fast mode, it has like a health regen on hit thing like Bloodborne, but you can actually, it doesn't give you back health you just lost. You can just go all the way back up to full health, but in fact your health is constantly going down at the same time. I think that would balance that out as well. Like, you can still heal in fast mode as well, or in fact that could probably work even if you can't heal in fast mode, but I think that would be, at least in theory, in my head, the best way of like balancing out the difficulty. You also don't take more damage in fast mode either. Your health is constantly decreasing. That way it encourages you. You're in fast mode, you want to be like aggressive and quick, but it means that you're not running about the level constantly in fast mode because it just decreases your health. So if there's no enemies to kill, you know, it just kills you if you're in fast mode. That makes sense to me. But that's just one of a million different ways that you could balance fast mode. But currently it just feels really, really, really horrible. Particularly because, like I said, there is a disconnect between the game presenting fast mode as like the kind of default way you're supposed to play it, but when I was playing it, it felt that slow mode was actually the better way to play it. And then on top of that, the game is also like kind of broken currently. And again, there's going to be tons of balance. Like, I get that it's a good thing that actually they missed the release date, because having the game release in like this state, I just don't think would have been particularly good. Now they have tons of feedback and they can like improve upon the formula, but effectively the classes and the weapons are like just entirely broken currently. The longsword, like the Runic Knight guy, just felt so much better than the other ones, simply because when you're in fast mode, it unlocks a bunch of other attacks, as I guess you'd have seen. And the L1 attack with the longsword is so much faster and does so much damage compared to like anything else, that it just felt that you're just like completely handicapping yourself by using any other weapon. Like, even though the Zweihander equivalent can like knock enemies down, it's just not enough. So that I found, I just like, you know, the classes need to be more balanced. And if it wasn't for that, oh, so to be fair, I did beat the end boss using that bleed bat, which was actually really like a good weapon actually, but again, like, it just didn't feel right that I was able to beat the end boss in slow mode, just because it's so much more forgiving. Actually, as you saw as well, I was able to like beat the dogs incredibly easily because they can't out damage your rally, because when you're in slow mode you've got more defenses, so the amount of damage they do doesn't actually, and how much they attack, doesn't actually, like, you just keep attacking them through your poise, and they just can't do anything to you. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, so again, there's clearly like balancing issues that's relating to like how slow and fast mode interact with each other. And I mean, there's just so many moving parts. You know, I think it's quite obvious. It's quite easy for these things to just like went over the top of people's heads, because chances are when they were making the game, they were probably just playing it in fast mode all the time, I imagine. So I feel that shields, they don't, I mean, I kind of get that maybe perhaps it would be broken if there was a 100 block shield, maybe, but I feel that the chip damage through shields is like insane. I understand that, I get the point of it, but then if you have two modes, one being fast and aggressive, it then makes you wonder, well, if the chip damage is so much through a shield, kind of what's the point? I suppose ultimately your defense is way higher in slow mode, but it just feels kind of weird, because like with fast mode you just take so much damage if you get hit, and I feel like it's just kind of easy to get hit in fast mode because of like how erratic your movements are. Sometimes you move into their attack because of the four-way rolling, so that was the kind of sucks. You've got way more control over your character in slow mode. I mean, again, this could just be I'm bad, right? It could just be that. But I think that ultimately you need to take these sorts of things into consideration no matter what. Armor doesn't feel like it matters too much. I guess, again, that's akin to Bloodborne. I feel like there's so many Bloodborne parallels to this mod that comparing it to some of the design decisions seems quite natural to me when we're comparing it to Bloodborne. So I hope that doesn't discredit a lot of what I'm saying. It just feels that they have just taken a lot of inspiration from it, and I think that's really fucking cool. I think the concept of bringing some Bloodborne design philosophy into Dark Souls 1 is a great idea. I think that it's just a little, I don't want to say poorly executed, because it's not poorly executed. All this is a matter of like certain numbers being a bit higher or lower to change how some of these things balance. Like, this is all just like balancing issues, you know. Because again, I think this is an amazing feat. I felt like, again, going back to how imbalanced the classes and the weapons are, initially when I was playing the mod, it felt like almost impossible to beat the first boss on fast mode when using the Zweihander. Like, genuinely, I could not beat that first boss because if it sometimes it just one-shot you because it does so much damage, which is fine. Like, that is fine, but it was only one-shotting you when you're in fast mode. And it just felt that the Zweihander could not deal enough damage quickly enough, particularly compared to the L1 attack of the longsword, which just melted the boss like immediately, which is so weird. So I could beat the first boss on fast mode with the longsword. Zweihander could not do it. I must have done like 20 tries. I just could not fucking do it. And to me, it's like, should fast mode not feel like... It seems to me that fast mode should be like, you have to be in fast mode to accommodate like maybe like a boss going into its own fast mode. So slow mode, it's just like you'd never be able to do it unless you're in fast mode. That's kind of how I envision how fast mode should feel in terms of like a balancing thing. So here's the thing, like with the Zweihander being so slow, it then makes me think that the like rally to full HP would actually offset a lot of this, because obviously one hit from the Zweihander would give you back way more health than one hit from like the longsword or like a smaller, faster weapon. And to me, that would offset the fact that the game has been made a lot faster. Like, the Zweihander was already pretty slow in Dark Souls 1, and this one, even though it's been made faster, it feels comparatively slower. So it just seems to me that having the rally to full health would certainly offset that. You know, so that way, even if you can't heal in fast mode, you can still, like, with your slower weapon, just go, fuck it, just attack through, and then you can get your health back, and you kind of can make, like trading hits and stuff, which is kind of what you might do with, like a Zweihander and all the other games, so it would kind of tie in with that. But I think ultimately that kind of brings me to the end of all the things, all my various thoughts on the mod. I want to know, how you felt about things. Oh, sweet. So you made it to the end of the video. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed it, by all means, you should subscribe, because again, like I said, there'll be plenty more Dark Souls mod related content coming up, along with Elden Ring stuff. But obviously, mostly on Twitch now, so by all means, go follow us on Twitch, where you can speak to us and have a laugh. I say us, Stephen and Gary should be there, but it'll definitely be me. You definitely get to enjoy my company on Twitch, so I think that's probably... I mean, you don't need those two cunts, do you? Nah. But yeah, if you want to see the uncut version of this stream, which is significantly longer and involves a lot more of me swearing and shouting, then by all means, you should go check out Patreon, where you get access to not all of our streams, because not all of them are worthwhile uploading, but anything that's like a playthrough of a certain thing, that gets uploaded. So this is the next thing that's been uploaded. And yeah, this also highlights like a whole bunch of the stuff that I was talking about, which the footage, I guess, doesn't technically really show, because I ended up like kind of learning the ins and outs of the kind of buggy system. But ultimately, thanks for making it this far into the video, and I will be seeing you in the next one. And for making it this far, you deserve a little kiss. Thanks a lot.